Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on your time zone. You are watching Seeds for You by Sherry. And if we are meeting for the first time, I'm Sherry. If you are a returning guest, I want to say welcome back to my channel. So happy to have you here tonight. What we're going to be talking about tonight is about payday loans. And payday loans has, several names. It can be a cash advance loan. It can be an online payday loan. They have quite a few names out there, and I'm sure that you've heard some of them already. Okay, payday loans is the devil. Yeah, I want to refer to it as that way because it's like a bad spirit, man. Because it's designed to get you entangled, if I can use that word, to get you entangled in a cycle of debt, okay? As a matter of fact, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau refers to it as a debt trap because it is nothing more than financial quicksand, okay? That's how bad it is. If they would craft it like that, then I'm sure that no one would be interested in pursuing a payday loan. Okay, so why is a payday loan bad? It's bad because of its high rates, number one, and also for its short repayment terms. All right, most people who qualify, I don't even want to use the word qualify because they don't do a credit check or anything. They don't do a comparison of what debt you might already have and what your income ratio is to find out if you have the ability to repay the loan. They don't do that, and it's because they are making money off of you. Okay, that's exactly what they're doing. It's designed that way. It's set up that way. It puts you in more debt probably than you have when you go to them for the debt, and I'll explain why. Okay, say for instance, you're in college, and you have a new car, or you bought a car, or you have a car while you're in college, okay, and you have to make payments on it, all right? Or maybe you're a young couple and you just had a new baby, who knows what your situation is. Whatever your situation is, okay, you have found yourself in need of some extra cash. You have a financial crisis, okay? Something happened, you had an extra expense, whatever, you can't pay the car note. Or now that you have this baby, it's making things a little more difficult. You have a greater expense. Babies are expensive, okay? So anyway, you're now in this financial crisis and you need a loan. So you go to them. They're not doing a credit check. They're not, checking to see if you have the ability to repay the loan. But they give you this loan. Say you borrow between $300 to $500. Most of them go up to $500. There are a select few states that may go higher than that. But typically, they range from $300 to $500. Okay, you go in, you get this $500 loan. You give them a voided check or, a post-dated check, or you give them your information to extract it from your account electronically. All right, so you go in, you walk out with the cash. Okay, you're feeling pretty good because you feel like whatever your crisis is, it's not as big of a worry now because you have cash in hand. All right, now, the trouble begins when you're paid again and it's time to pay this loan back. Say for instance, you got the $500 loan and you have $100 in interest, okay? So you now owe them $600, okay, when you get paid again. So most of the people who go in to get a payday loan are those who make less than $30,000 a year, or they are unemployed. Which means that when you go in and get this $500, you have a financial need. And when you get paid again, you still have a financial need because you have your bills. You have to eat. You have to maintain, okay, all of your expenses that you had before. But now you owe an additional $600. All right, so you can't afford to give them $600 when you get paid. So what you do is you renew the loan. So you give them the $100 interest rate, they start the loan all over again. So you still owe them $600, but you have paid $100. All right, you get paid again. All right, when you get paid again, you still can't afford the loan, so you pay them another $100. Now you have paid $200 towards this $500 loan, and you do this for a number of times. You just keep going back and you're renewing the loan. Typically, people have to renew up to 9 times. Okay, all right. So, long story short, when you do the math, you find out that you have paid the amount of money that you owe them, and now you are paying them on top of the amount that you owe them. So, say for instance, you got a loan that was $500, or let's drop it down. Let's say you just got a $300 loan. So you already know that in 2 cycles you have paid $200 already of that loan. And the 3rd time you paid $300. So let's say this is like the 5th time that you've had to renew the loan. You have now paid back $500 to a loan that you have not yet touched the principal amount that you borrowed. So you have given them $500 for a $300 loan, and you still owe them for the loan. You still owe them a total of $400, because let's just say that that interest rate is $100. Okay, so you borrowed 3, you owe 4. All right, and so already you have gone above and beyond the amount that you borrowed from them. Okay, and you still owe them. So you see what I mean? Now you're in this financial, this cycle of debt, this financial quicksand, where you're just paying. You're just like throwing money away every time you get paid, but you're not owing, you're not touching the principal, so you still owe them that money. And should they happen to, for instance, you're not able to pay anything. Let's say you can't pay the interest rate 1 week, and then they go ahead and send it to your bank. Okay, of course that's going to bounce. You're going to have fees, to your bank. You're going to have fees to them, and they will take you to court. Let me just add that. They will take you to court. Okay, so you have this situation now that is bigger than what you had before. All right, and the reason that they're able to do this to you is because they know that if you came to them, you did not qualify for a personal loan. You weren't able to go to a bank and get a loan where you would get better interest rates. And not only that, but you would have a longer amount of time to repay the loan. So really, if you're going to them, you're kind of an at-risk person. So they know that there is a possibility that they're not going to get their money back. So they have these real high interest rates. Oh, God, I wonder who thought of this. One time I was scrolling through YouTube and I came across, I was able to catch a clip on YouTube where the lawmakers were arguing with, I guess, maybe a payday loan establishment, and the person who was in charge, I don't know if she was the law, like the judge, or she was, just fighting on behalf of maybe a borrower. Okay, and I just kind of like the way she ripped them up one side and down the other, reminding them that they were not helping people because of the high interest rates they were charging. And she didn't even hardly give the woman a chance to respond. Like she was just really hitting her with those jabs, And I have to say, I really did love that, because what they are doing is not right. They are putting people, low-income people, or the unemployed, in a bigger situation than they had to begin with. Because if you went in there needing $300 to $500, that means that you're in need. Okay, and so now you have a bigger situation because you're running back every payday, trying to keep them from sending that check to the bank or from extracting it from your account electronically. So you're in this cycle. You're caught in this financial quicksand and you're going nowhere fast. All right. So now you have just added debt on top of the other debt. So I wanted to give that as a warning to anyone who might be considering it. Or if you know someone who is already caught up in that cycle and you have a few extra funds to help them to get out of it, then please be so kind and do that, and let them know that there are other alternatives. One alternative would be for them to try a credit union, where they would have lower interest rates and they would also have a longer time frame to repay that loan. Also, they may want to consider talking with their employer. Some employers do give advances, so that's another option. And there are a couple of apps out there available for situations like this. The only thing about that is that they will take the money out right away. If you're getting an advance, they will take the money out right away when you get paid. So that's something to think about. And I think one of those apps is called Dave. D is in David, A for Apple, V for Victor, and E for Edward. Okay, so that's another app. So those are some other options that you might want to consider if you find yourself in a situation where you need extra cash, opposed to going to a payday loan and just really getting gypped. Okay, all right. So they may greet you with a smile. They may, treat you kind and make you feel like they really care about you. Oh, but don't be deceived, because it's really not about that at all. It's about them making money off of you. If you're in college, and you have a car note and you can't pay it, then they're taking advantage of you. If you are a young couple, okay, trying to make it, and now you have a new baby, they're taking advantage of you. They're not helping you. So please consider other options, okay, opposed to that. Now, I am going to cheat a little bit. Excuse me, I have some notes here. I'm going to cheat a little bit and just make sure that I'm not missing anything, because I want to be sure to give you all of the information that I have available. All right, so I've already explained to you about the high fees and the short repayment terms. I've already talked to you about that. I've given you some alternatives. Let's see. Oh, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but there are some states that prohibit this. They won't even allow it at all. There are some states who have a cap on the interest rates that they can charge. And then there are some states that have absolutely no restrictions at all. And some of those states may even loan you more money, like up to $1,000 or something like that. Whew, God forbid. If you run into that place, do not borrow $1,000 from them. You will owe them your life, your arms, your legs, and your firstborn child. Please do not do that. Okay. I've already told you about the high interest rate, how many times people typically renew the loan or reborrow the loan, up to about 9 times. And within a year's time, they would have paid a $400 percent interest rate. That's pretty startling. Let's see if there's anything else. I already told you about that there are a couple of apps out there that you might consider. I've given you the alternatives. Oh, one other thing that you might be interested to know is that it does not, they don't report to the credit union. So if you're running back every 2 weeks or every week whenever you get paid or whatever, that, if they tell you that you have to pay it back weekly or every 2 weeks or whatever, and you're just running back all that time, just know, even if you're paying on time, it's no profit to you, because they're not reporting to a credit union. To a credit bureau. Even if they say that they are, I'm told they're not reporting to the major ones. So it's not helping you at all. If anything, it's probably hurting you. Okay, so that's basically all I have for you today. I hope that you found this information to be valuable, and if you did, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you're from. I would love to hear from you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. That would just help us out. I'm just trying to get those numbers up, so that would be a great help if you would consider subscribing today. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you decide to do that, make sure you hit the notification bell, because once you do that, then you're notified anytime I upload new content. All right, and just so you know that I'm always trying to bring awareness to a lot of different topics and subjects and whatever, I want to sow seeds into the lives of others, and which is what I consider myself to be doing tonight, is sowing a seed. Just in case someone out there is considering a payday loan, but you really don't know what you're getting yourself into. So I hope that you found this information valuable, and that you will now be able to make a better decision and shop around to get yourself some help. And then one last thing I would like to add, that if you find yourself in this situation where you are needing cash more than once or on a regular basis, then I would suggest that you also get credit counseling, that you would talk to someone so that they can show you how to set up a budget for the amount of cash and money that you have to work with, and not only that, but to help you to get a savings started. Okay, so again, that's all I have for you. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back here again real soon. Goodbye.